Ready for a deep dive. Today's story is both inspiring and kind of makes you think. It's about Israel Concha.
Oh, this is a good one. Deported dreamer turned, well, you could say entrepreneur of empowerment.
Exactly. Israel Concha and New Comienzos. We've got articles, a LinkedIn profile, even their pitch deck.
Wow. Okay, so we're going all in. I even saw a podcast episode about him in Korean.
Seriously, talk about making an impact. Okay, so for everyone listening, Concha came to the U.S. as a kid, right?
Yeah, and he built a life here.
Yeah.
Built a successful business, transportation, I think, employed Americans, paid taxes, the whole 9 yards.
But he gets deported,
Right.
despite all that.
It's one of those stories that makes you really see the human side of immigration debates.
Absolutely.
And there's this story from his high school days. He couldn't even go on a school trip to D.C. with his class. Undocumented.
Aw, man, that's rough.
Right. Talk about feeling like an outsider. And it gets worse. Deported in 2015, arrives in Mexico City, and almost immediately kidnapped.
No way. Seriously, kidnapped.
Yep. Talk about being thrown into the fire. Shows how dangerous it could be for deportees.
Yeah.
This wasn't just paperwork. It was terrifying.
It's hard to imagine going through that. So what happens?
Well, he gets away, thankfully. But here's where things get really interesting. He doesn't just give up.
Let me guess. This is where New Comienzos comes in.
You got it. He even said, there's a light after deportation. And he meant it.
Wow. So New Comienzos is about what? Helping people survive after being deported?
More than surviving, it's about helping people thrive, empowering them. That's Concha's vision.
So what do? Their mission, it's pretty powerful stuff, right?
They're all about helping deportees and dreamers coming back to Mexico. Reintegrate, build a life. But they're taking a step further.
Okay. How so? What makes them different?
Think about it. A lot of these folks were immersed in American culture. That ambition, the idea of the American dream, it doesn't just disappear because of a border.
I see what you're saying.
So, New Comienzos, they're like, why not create that here? A new version of the dream, but on Mexican soil.
That's a cool way to look at it.
Right? And they're not messing around. Job help, legal aid, even mental health support, which is so important after what these people have been through.
They even offer English certification, right? I read that somewhere.
Exactly. They thought of everything.
It's like they're providing a safety net for people who've been totally uprooted. But it's more than practical stuff too, right?
You got it. They have mentorship, Spanish classes, even programs to help people reconnect with Mexican culture.
I read about that. They have classes on Mexican history, cultural norms, even food.
Exactly. Because being deported can be isolating. These things, they help people feel like they belong, like they're home.
It's about more than just surviving. It's about rebuilding your whole life. And that's where Workforce MX comes in, right?
Oh yeah, now you're talking Workforce MX. That's where things get really innovative.
Connecting bilingual people in Mexico with U.S. companies for remote work? Brilliant.
Concha's a smart cookie. He's taking this really tough situation and turning it into something positive.
It's a win-win, right? People get jobs, and New Comienzos gets funding.
You got it. It's sustainable. And, you can tell Concha's got that entrepreneurial spirit. He's not just running a charity. He's building something that can last.
And he's not doing it alone, right? Didn't they partner with the Mexican government?
Yeah, there's this whole agreement about education initiatives. It's serious stuff.
They're not just working outside the system, they're changing the system itself, which, honestly, is what needs to happen.
For real. And get their pitch deck. It has this whole section on how they compensate their team. Metrics, bonuses, the whole shebang.
Wow, they're running it like a real business.
And why not? If you want to empower people, you got to have your act together.
Makes sense to me. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of good things, but we have to acknowledge this whole situation, it exists because the system is flawed.
You're preaching to the choir. Concha's deportation, it's not an isolated incident. It's a symptom of a much bigger problem.
And think about the irony, right? Concha built a successful business, employed Americans, contributed to the economy.
But he's undesirable, please.
It's crazy. And it makes you wonder how much we're losing as a country because of these policies.
No kidding. The talent, the drive,
Yeah.
it's all going to waste.
I remember reading this quote from Concha, something like, "Why not have the American dream in Mexico?" It really makes you think.
Right. What if the American dream isn't about a place? What if it's about the values, the opportunities?
Exactly. And that's what New Comienzos is proving. You can build a good life, a fulfilling life, wherever you are.
It's about challenging those old ideas about what success looks like and who gets to achieve it.
And Concha, he's out there making it happen. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk.
Literally, he's everywhere. Articles, magazine covers, he's a force of nature.
And through it all, he never forgot where he came from. He's so dedicated to giving back.
He gets it.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what it's like to struggle, and he's committed to helping others overcome those same obstacles.
And that's a powerful message for everyone, no matter where you come from or what you've been through.
Couldn't said it better myself.
So we've covered Concha's story, New Comienzos, the work they do, the impact they're having. It's a lot to unpack.
It is, and it's inspiring stuff, but there's one more piece to this puzzle. The bigger picture.
It's like Concha's story really makes you wonder about the whole American dream thing, you know?
No kidding. He
Yeah.
kind of flips the script. It's not about being in America. It's about taking those values that drive wherever you go.
And succeeding. Let's not forget he's helped over 100,000 people through New Comienzos. That's huge.
Right. Imagine if everyone who got knocked down picked themselves up and did that. What if the American dream was more about how you live, not where?
Now that's an interesting thought. It's less about the McMansion and more about making a life that means something.
Exactly. And Concha's out there proving it's possible. Even after being deported, he built something incredible.
It's like he's saying, hey, life threw me a curveball, but I'm still here and I'm making a difference. Powerful stuff.
It really is. It makes you want to step up your own game, you know? Find ways to make a difference, even in small ways.
Totally. So as we're kind of absorbing all this, what are some of the big takeaways for you, for people listening?
Concha's story, it's a reminder that hope exists no matter what. It might sound cheesy, but he's living proof.
He didn't let this huge setback break him. He used it to fuel his purpose.
Right. It's like we all have that potential within us to face our challenges and come out stronger on the other side, to find our own version of success, whatever that looks like.
And it's not just about individual resilience, right? It's about community. Concha didn't do this alone.
Not at all. He built a network, a support system, people who believe in his vision. It proves that we can achieve so much more when we work together, when we support each other's dreams.
It's that whole it takes a village idea, right? We
Oh, yeah.
all need a support system, people who have our backs.
Absolutely. And when we lift each other up, when we fight for each other's right to thrive, that's how we create real change, both in our own lives and in the world.
So well said. Concha's story is like a master class in resilience, in social entrepreneurship, in the power of community.
It really is. He's challenged us to rethink success, to challenge injustice, and to never give up on hope, no matter what obstacles we face.
It's been an incredible journey diving into his story and the incredible work of New Comienzos.
It has. And as we wrap up, I think the biggest takeaway for me, and hopefully for everyone listening, is this. It really is. And, it makes you think, what if more people reacted to setbacks the way Concha did?
Instead of letting it break some.
Exactly. Imagine the possibilities. It's like finding that strength within yourself, that drive to turn things around, not just for you, but for others. That's powerful.
And inspiring. It gives me hope, like no matter how tough things get, there's always a way forward.
There really is. It's about tapping into that resilience, that human spirit that refuses to be defeated. Concha's story shows us what that looks like in action.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the message we want to leave people with?
Don't give up, ever.
Yeah.
Cliché, maybe, but Concha's life, it embodies that. New Comienzos, it's proof that even after deportation, even after being kidnapped, you can build something amazing.
New beginnings, second chances. He's a testament to that.
100%. And I think on a deeper level, it's a call to action for all of us. We can all be a part of creating a world where those new beginnings are possible.
By supporting organizations like New Comienzos,
Okay.
by challenging unjust policies, by being there for each other.
All of the above. Concha's story, it reminds us that we're not alone in this. We're all connected. And when we work together, when we lift each other up, we can create real lasting change.
What a powerful message to end on. This deep dive has been incredible. Thank you for sharing your insights with us.
It's been my pleasure. This story, it stays with you. I hope it inspired our listeners as much as it's inspired me.